Alright, how's it going, everybody? I'm here for the week 3 of the IPA. Today, well, not today, actually, it might be today, depends when we get around to battling, but, I'm gonna be battling Hanna in the Swedish Shaymins. Now, Hanna has a really, she actually has, like, the best draft in the entire league. She has, voted pretty much the best draft by pretty much everyone, that did a, power rankings, so she got pretty much the best draft in the entire game, so a little bit afraid of that. She also has, well, she has Charizard X, which is the the mega that I'm always the most afraid of. Charizard X is so good, man. It's just so good. Now she has an interesting thing with her draft because the team I'm bringing, she has the potential to bring something that would do really, really good against the team that I am bringing. However, what she could bring isn't really the best as to what I as well could bring. So I don't really expect her to be bringing. Like, I'll go over what I think, what I'm thinking later. But anyways, this is a team I am kind of expecting her to bring. I don't have a choice scarf on here, so I'm gonna have to be a little bit afraid of, like, not afraid, a little bit wary of random scarfers, like a scarf skuntank maybe, or even scarf Cobalion, maybe scarf Rotom. Although that might be maybe a little bit awkward. I don't know. I have to be a little bit afraid, not afraid. I have to be a little bit cautious, I suppose, about a few random scarfers on her team. But Charizard X is of course the first Pokemon I expect her to bring. I want to be prepared. I want to have my damage calcs to be prepared for Adamant, but I don't know. It could be Adamant, could be Jolly. I suppose she'd probably run Adamant, just because it's so powerful. Doesn't really matter though. Well, I mean, it matters, but like, all my calcs are prepped, or at least I tried to prep all my calcs for an Adamant Zard. Flare Blitz EQ. She doesn't really need any Dragon Stab or any other coverage because Flare Blitz is just such a spammable move, and anything that she can't hit with Flare Blitz, she can hit with EQ. Notably Lantern, Regirock. So yeah, that's basically it. She could even run like Iron Tail to hit Regirock for the much more amount of damage because of Tough Claw's boost, but then she would be completely walled by Lantern, so I'm pretty sure she's not going to do that because she kind of needs to hit Lantern. She roosts on like a ton of things on the team. She roosts on like a standard Lantern set. She roosts on Bronzong depending on the set. She roosts on Mew depending on the set, and she roosts on a few other things. Rotom depending on the sets, and of course Dragon Dance because at +1, Charizard is very, very scary, very hard to deal with. Yeah, that's my analysis. Clefable, this could be Rock's Clefable with Unaware, but I haven't really brought very many setup sweepers in the past, so Unaware may seem counterproductive to her. I have brought a lot of status, so for that reason, Magic Guard seems like it would be the most viable option for her. Like I said, this could definitely be Stealth Rocks like T-Wave, but Calm Mind does really good against my team, so I'm kind of expecting Calm Mind a little bit more. She doesn't have to bring it, like I said, it could be Stealth Rocks, and then this could be something completely different. This Cobalion could be Kabutops, or it could be Swords Dance Cobalion, Sub Calm Mind Cobalion. It could be a number of things for the Cobalion, or like I said, it could be Kabutops, but Calm Mind does pretty good against my team in general. It's also a pretty good stall breaker against my stuff like Audino, and if I brought a defensive Mew or stuff like that. Yeah, so Calm Mind, Soft Boil, Moonblast. Last move I kind of think would be Flamethrower for the Bronzong, because Bronzong, otherwise, this would never be able to do anything until you kill Bronzong. So Flamethrower I kind of think would be cool for the Bronzong. She could run Psychic, Psyshock, if she's really afraid of Gengar, to just get rid of it in one turn. She could even just run, I don't know, some random like Life Orb, Magic Guard, 3 attacks, Soft Boiled, but I don't think that's a thing. She could maybe run soft-boiled Fizz Def with I don't know, Moonblast, Flamethrower, and then the last move is Psyshock or T-Wave, or I don't know. Really, it's really kind of up in the air here. I mean, Gengar doesn't exactly eat up +1 Flamethrowers or Moonblasts anyway. I mean, it does, but it doesn't. You know what I mean? So I mean, I think Bronzong's the bigger threat for her to care about. So yeah, she might even run enough EVs just to, like, if she runs Psychic, she might run enough special attack EVs just to Oko Gengar without the boost. The next thing I think is Skuntank. I'm not really sure what her EVs would be. There's kind of a standard quote-unquote standard Skuntank set that's like 228 or something. There's some like standard Skuntank set in like NU that's runs enough attack to be able to 1v1 Mega Audino. 2, it KOs it with Poison Jab. It runs enough speed to outspeed base 80s. I can't really remember exactly what it is. Like, it's like outspeed Samurott and Ludicolo and stuff. And then just the rest in special defense. And the set is used, it's a very common, or at least it's common from what I've seen in NU. And she plays a lot of NU, so I kind of think she might do that. I kind of think Black Sledge over some random thing like Assault Vest or, I don't know, even Life Orb, or Expert Belt, I suppose. I don't know. I kind of expect Black Sledge just because, I don't know, it's a kind of a defensive mon for her, but I mean, I don't want to be taken off by surprise by like some like random Life Orb set. But this is her Defogger, and she does have the Charizard, so if she doesn't bring Kabutops, then this is her Defogger. And having Charizard, having her pretty much her win condition be weak to rocks means that I assume she wants to get rid of rocks ASAP. Sucker Punch, I mean, it's priority, so it's priority and it's really good. It hits stuff like it can be kind of taken advantage of, and I've kind of taken advantage of Skuntank in the past, and she knows I've taken advantage of Skuntank in the past, but priority is always nice, especially for stuff like Torn. She can Sucker Punch a Torn if I get low enough to prevent me from just U-turning. Just Sucker Punch is good, and I don't think she'd give up on Sucker Punch to run Crunch just so that she can hit like Reflect type Gengar as a Reflect type. I really don't think so. Pursuit for the Gengar, Poison Jab for the Audino. Play Rough 2 it KOs Gengar after I Reflect type, so she could run Play Rough. She could run Crunch, but again, losing Sucker Punch is really bad. The only real move she can afford to lose, in my opinion, is Pursuit. If she doesn't have Pursuit, then that means Gengar has a lot easier time against the team, because Gengar does a lot against her team. This could also be, as I said, like randomly Assault Vest without Defog, but I really think Defog is very important for her team. So that's what I expect here. Physically defensive or specially defensive, I'm not entirely sure. Rotom Wash. Physically defensive is nice for Crocodile. Specially defensive is nice just as another blanket check to Gengar. I mean, Crocodile, she has the Tangrowth that I expect would be one of the best answers to it, but I don't know. It could be physically defensive, it could be specially defensive. It really depends on what she wants to. It really depends on a lot of things. It's not really the hugest thing. This also, as I said, could be Choice Scarf, but if it is bulky, I'm expecting just a standard Wisp, Hydro Pump, Volt, Pain Split set. She could run Toxic to, well, I mean, she doesn't need, I was going to say Toxic for Lantern, but I mean, Wisp is nice enough to hit Lantern with, and I mean, standard Lantern doesn't particularly, beat Rotom Wash. I mean, it kind of does, but I mean, it kind of doesn't. But yeah, it could be this. Like I said, I do want to keep a little bit of an eye out for Scarf Rotom, but the only thing she'd be tricking is like, well, she'd be tricking Mew, but I'm not going to let that happen. But she could also be tricking my Lantern, and I don't think that would be a huge issue. I mean, it wouldn't be the best, but it wouldn't be a huge issue. The next thing is Tangrowth. I put it as Assault Vest, and I didn't put any EVs because Tangrowth run, like the standard, I'm pretty sure the standard for Assault Vest is not plus attack. What is it? Rely? No, Sassy. Yeah. I think this is like the standard Assault Vest Tangrowth set, but I don't know. I'm not a fan of running max HP, max SpDef on Assault Vest mons. That's just me, but I don't know. It's really up in the air. She could be running it into a special attack. She could be running it into attack. It's kind of up in the air. She could also be running Poison move on here to hit Audino, which is understandable as well. Rock Slide hits Torrent, which is why I kind of think she'd be bringing that. Earthquake hits, well, Drapion, which is, I don't know, that's pretty important in my opinion. That's another reason I think she'd bring Fizdef Rotom. And then just Giga Drain and Knockoff is overall pretty nice. Like I said, she could bring Assault Vest. She could bring Assault Vest with EVs to like guaranteed live one hit from Gengar. Which is could be a thing. I can definitely see that. She could also run just leftovers, and she could run Sleep Powder here, and that's a little bit iffy. I'd kind of be a little bit afraid of that. I don't want to be hard switching into my Cleric on a Sleep Powder, so I'll have to be a little bit wary of Sleep Powder Tangrowth, but I kind of think Assault Vest would be a little bit better for her. If she's not Assault Vest, then I 2-hit KO it with one of the things that I'll go over in a second. But this is basically her answer to Crocodile. This is basically what I expect her to bring for Crocodile. She could also bring, like I said, Fizdev Rotom, but I mean, this is just a nice answer to Krookodile in general. I guess between the two of these, she could bring like this Fizdev, this Scarf, and I don't know. I don't know. There's a lot of things she could bring. There's a lot of theorizing. I'm theorizing a lot of defensive mons, so I think that's probably not the best idea for me. But I don't know. She kind of needs a Krook answer, and I feel like this is one of the best Krook answers, if not with Rotom as well. Just because it gets Regenerator. If I knock off Rotom, it's gonna have a hard time recovering back up. The last thing is Cobalion or Kabutops that I expect. Like I said, if it's not Rock's Clefable, it's going to be Rock's Cobalion. But Kabutops actually does really, really good against my team, so I do want to be afraid of that. Volt Switch is nice for, well, first of all, for momentum, but it's also really nice for Tentacruel. Like, it doesn't do that much against Tentacruel, but it's nice to be able to Volt Switch on the Tentacruel, deal a little bit extra damage on Tentacruel, because Tentacruel does resist that dual stab. Close Combat Iron Head. This is nice for the... It's nice to outspeed the Krookodile. It's also nice, like, she probably, if I brought Cobalion, I'd run just enough speed to outspeed stuff like Krookodile, Drapion. It's nice to outspeed Krookodile. Yeah, that's basically it. It's nice to outspeed Krookodile. It's nice to be able to Volt Switch on Tentacruel, and this is a very good answer to Drapion. So having a check to Drapion and having a check to Krookodile is very nice. You could probably run Shuka Berry on this. However, it's not going to matter this game. In all honesty, which is going to kind of be nice. Now, what she could bring, and like I said, if she brings, I'd be in a little bit of a pickle because I don't really have answers for, is the Spikes stacking Hyper Offense Aselgor. I am actually not bringing Hazard removal this game. And I mean, I haven't brought Hazard removal very often in my past few games, and I think it's coming to the point where people are going to expect I don't bring Hazard removal, but it's not that I just don't bring Hazard removal. It's just that, like, I don't know. The games that I haven't brought it, it's been the best idea to not bring it. Like, this game against Zard, I mean, she's going to have a hard time leading turn 1 with Zard, and I'm going to, like, I feel like she's going to want to get rid of rocks as soon as possible, and getting rid of rocks, Kabutov's Rapid Spin isn't the most reliable way. Especially because I can potentially spin block with Gengar and then kill with an Energy Ball. So I don't know. It's spin with Kabutops is iffy. I kind of think she'd want to guarantee get rocks away with by defogging, because she defogs on a decent amount of things. However, she defogs, but Regirock resets them up, so it's a bit awkward. But yeah, Spike's Encore Final Gambit is just overall really going to be an annoying thing to have to deal with, because if she starts layering up hazards, I'm going to have a really hard time. Because like I said, I don't have hazard removal. I do have a few things immune to hazards, and I do have regenerator. So I guess that's a thing. But yeah, I'm a little bit afraid of it. Final Gambit, of course, is... I mean, it's a bit annoying as well, because it deals a huge chunk of damage to a lot of bulky things. So yeah, that's something I'm gonna have to watch out for. Yeah, Kabutops, like I said, is very good against my team. In all honesty, I can definitely see Life Orb Kabutops. I can definitely see it. It's very scary. It's very scary. Stone Edge, Rapid Spin, Waterfall, and Knockoff. I kind of think Waterfall over Aqua Jet, because Regirock eats up Aqua Jet like it's nothing. So I think Waterfall is a bit better of an option for her. In all honesty, that's just what I think. Knockoff is just nice because I have a lot of things weak to Knockoff, and yeah, Stone Edge and Rapid Spin just as a backup. I mean, I guess if she brings Defog and she's feeling she's going to be able to defog easily enough, she could switch out Spin for Aqua Jet, but I don't know. This is kind of the set I expect her to bring, and I mean, I can definitely see this coming. I didn't have it on my projected team preview, but I can definitely see it coming. Sigilyph would be annoying and kind of hard to deal with as well. Yeah, I mean, there's not really a lot I can say for it. It's really good against all my dark types. She can Psycho Shift a burn onto something like Drapion or Krookodile, and then just, keep Cosmic Powering. Yeah, it's actually going to be pretty hard to deal with. I think I'd have to rely on Gengar to take it out, and I'd check a few. I'm gonna check a few calcs to make sure at what point at what point Gengar loses 1v1 to Cosmic Power Sigilyph. So I mean, I don't know. It's just a little bit weary to have to go against. If I see the Flame Orb, it'll kind of reveal the set. It'll definitely reveal the set. If I don't see Flame Orb, then it's most likely a Life Orb variant, so I'll have to be pretty careful over a lot of things. Swords Dance to Blade is another thing I'm a little bit afraid of as well. Does pretty good against the team, in all honesty. It does. It actually does like very good against the team. Shot like Ghost Stab against my team is pretty nice. Sacred Sword is pretty nice because I mean Deblade's pretty bulky that it lives hits from stuff like it'll live hits from stuff like Crocodile. However, the fact that I have Drop Gun and Crocodile makes me a little bit wary for her to bring it because I do have 2 Pursuit Trappers, so I'm not entirely sure if she'd bring this. If she does bring this, I'll be in a little bit of trouble because I didn't bring either of my Dark types, as funny as that sounds. So yeah, I'll definitely have to watch out for that. The last thing I could be a little bit of an issue is Assault Vest Buffalant, because it is a Pursuit Trapper for Gengar. She could run Zen Headbutt over Megahorn for Gengar as well, but I think if she has Pursuit, she probably thinks that's enough for Gengar. And this Gengar set I'm bringing should be able to 1v1 this decently well anyways, and then it can take these 3 hits, it can take these Head Charge, Earthquake, Megahorn hits pretty decently, in all honesty. So, she could bring this for Gengar. She's going to bring something specifically for Gengar, but I don't think she'd bring Buffalant and Skuntank. To be honest with you, Double Pursuit seems kind of iffy for me. Now, going over the team that I'm actually bringing, first thing I'm bringing is Mega Audino. I'm not bringing Modest Mega Audino that I brought last time. I'm bringing 0 attacks Audino because, I don't know, she doesn't have very many taunt users, and a lot of things that would have taunt anyway, I wouldn't really want to stay in on. Like, I don't know, Skuntank, I wouldn't really want to keep Audino in on anyways, and I can't touch Skuntank anyway, so I'm running Wish Protect, Heal Bell, Toxic. Heal Bell is really nice because she's got a lot of ways to inflict status, so having Heal Bell is going to be really important. It'll be nice for, particularly Mew, but it'll also be nice for stuff like Torn, Lantern if they get burned from Rotom, even Regirock. It's just going to be nice for a lot of things. Yeah, so that's the set there. The next thing I'm bringing is Specs Lantern. This thing does a lot of damage to like a lot of things on her team. It's kind of unexpected. Speed is just a speed creep. It's not for anything specific. It's if she wants to run enough speed, just outspeed Lantern, I'll be able to just outspeed it. Max special attack Modest. This is meant to be my lead against pretty much anything on her team. Because she could lead with Cabal. Her leads are kind of Cobalion or Rotom, and both of those take like almost 50% from Volt Switch, which is it's a lot of damage to get off on those 2 Pokemon turn 1, because those are very, I mean, they're both Pokemon that are going to be kind of hard to deal with. They're both Pokemon that I don't have specific counters for. I just have things that like deal damage to it. So Volt Switch does a ton of damage to each of them turn 1. Also, if she wants to set rocks up turn 1 Cobalion, I can go for Scald, and that does a lot of damage. It does like 60-ish%. Plus I have a chance to burn. It's just really, really nice. If she's not Assault Vest Tangrowth, I guarantee 2 KO with Ice Beam. And Hydro Pump does up to 90% to Charizard X, I believe, which is huge. That's a ton of damage. That does up to 90% to Charizard X, like after a Mega Evolves. So like it's Charizard X after rocks, like not 50%, but Charizard X after rocks, taking 25%, is guaranteed to get OHKO'd by Hydro Pump, which is, you know, it's really, really nice. That's the thing. This is my quote-unquote Charizard X counter. I mean, I take 2 Earthquakes without a Dragon Dance boost, plus I guaranteed live I'm pretty sure I live up to +2 Earthquake from Charizard X. I can T-Wave, and Rock Slide is just, you know, it hits hard, it's sad, it's nice. I don't want to be risking any Stone Edges, so yeah, I'm going with Rock Slide. EQ is nice for anything that I can't Rock Slide, so particularly Cobalion. It's also nice to hit Skuntank as well, which is, I guess, besides the point, because you could definitely bring Skuntank. Thunderwave, do you even need to justify it? And then this is my rocker. I set rocks up on stuff like Skuntank anyways, so yeah, like it's not like Skuntank is going to be able to defog very easily. It's just really nice for a lot of her physical attackers. I take hits, like, I take hits from Kabutops. I don't take them well, but I, you know, I still technically take them from Kabutops, so if worst comes to worst, I can T-Wave it, and then I guess I can go into Lantern on like a waterfall, because I have max defense. I chose max defense over, HP, because the HP stat is so high that like I've said this before, but the HP stat is so high that if you invest in HP and you don't invest in the defenses, you don't get very much of a bulk difference, but if you invest max defense, like it's a huge difference. Like the difference between max HP and the difference between just max defense for damage is like almost 20%, which is huge. So yeah, this is for Zard and Cobalion, the defense EVs, and Kabutops, I suppose, as well. The next set is kind of an interesting set. I was originally, in all honesty, going to be running Will-O-Wisp, and I may switch it to that. I actually may switch it back to that. Will-O-Wisp is really nice for just a lot of things on the team. It's also nice to be able to not get pursuit trapped by Assault Vest Bouffalant, but I mean, I don't even know if she'd bring Assault Vest Bouffalant. Where is it? Make sure the EVs are correct. Yep. So for now, I have Sludge Bomb. Sludge Bomb over Sludge Wave because Sludge Wave is incompatible with Reflect type. Hidden Power Ground. It hits a lot of things I can't hit otherwise. I originally wanted, like I said, Wisp for Skuntanks, but I can Reflect type and Wisp the Skuntank and then be able to beat it 1v1. If it's like Assault Vest, then Hidden Power Ground is going to be doing too much. But I think I'm going to be going with this. She basically knows what Gengar said I'm bringing Reflect type, but bringing the extra damage for bringing the Life Orb, I hopefully may be able to make a big difference, because last time I only brought Black Sludge. Sludge Bomb Hidden Power Ground hits pretty much everything on her team for a good amount of damage, if nothing else. I could bring Shadow Ball, but it doesn't hit Skuntank for enough damage, and I want to be able to hit Skuntank for a good amount of damage. Reflect type, like I said, for Skuntank. I can also, I guess, do some cheeky things, I suppose, with Cobalion, but I don't know. It's just nice for pretty much that. It's also really nice for, well, not really nice. It's also an interesting thing to have for Charizard X, because if I Reflect type Charizard X, I quad resist Flare Blitz, and I'm immune to Earthquake. So that, I guess, I'm pretty sure. Now I could be wrong, but I'm like 100%, I'm like 99% sure that Flare Blitz does not 2-hit KO if I Reflect type. So that's the thing. And I mean, I don't get Stab off HP ground anyway, so it's going to do the same amount of damage. So if I Reflect type Charizard X, I should be, like, I mean, depending on how I Reflect type it. Like, if I Reflect type, like, +1 Charizard X Flare Blitz, even if I Reflect type and I quad resist it, it does like 60 to 70% from Flare Blitz, from Adamant Zard. So, I mean, I don't set up alongside it or anything, but like if I can Reflect type before it, if I Reflect type and I'm at like 100%, I should potentially be able to 1v1 it, because I can Hidden Power Ground, take one hit, Hidden Power Ground, take the second hit, and then Hidden Power Ground and finish off the Zard. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, that's my analysis. Pain Split's nice for stuff like Clefable if it does not have the Psychic type move. Yeah, Reflect type is also nice for the Sigilyph, if that happens to be a thing. Yeah, Pain Split's just nice for, well, a lot of things. Will-O-Wisp, one of the reasons I wanted kind of Wisp was because it means like hard wall Cobalion. Like a burned Cobalion does like 25% with Iron Head, which is kind of funny. So that's one of the reasons I wanted it. But yeah, I don't think I've ended up running it. Pain Split with Life Orb it's kind of nice. Like I said, it's nice for a lot of the bulky things on her team. It's nice for it's nice to be able to 1v1 Skuntank a little bit better, because like I said, with priority on Sucker Punch, I'll be decently low when I finish my skirmish with Skuntank, and she's probably going to go for a Sucker Punch to finish me off, so I can at the very least Pain Split to get up a little bit amount of HP, because Skuntank has a pretty decent HP stat, and Gengar has a pretty low HP stat, so I should be able to Pain Split, get a little bit of value if nothing else, and then right before I finish her off, which is kind of a nice thing as well. Yeah, hopefully this set does really good. Gengar does really good against our team. This is the only real coverage I kind of need. Shadow Ball would really be nice, but I'm just going to stick with this. The last set is, I might drop Flying Gem just so I don't have to take knockoff extra knockoff damage, but I'm running Acrobatics, Superpower, U-turn, knockoff. Heatwave may be better, and it probably is, but Superpower is nice because it still hits Cobalion. It still hits Cobalion, which Heatwave would have been for. It can hit Kabutops, which I couldn't otherwise. I can hit Rotom for more damage. It's going to be my most damaging move on Rotom after I knock it off. And I can still hit Doublade with knockoff. So that's my justification for Superpower. Yeah, and Acrobatics is just, I mean, I don't really need I don't really need an Assault Vest. I don't really need Life Orb. It's probably gonna get knocked off. This is a really good switch into Tangrowth. So that's basically why I wanted to. This is basically why I'm running basically no items, because I can switch into Tangrowth quite easily because of this. It's really good. It outspeeds a lot of stuff. Enough speed on this and enough speed on this. They both meet the same speed. 347, 347. That's outspeed Timid or Jolly max speed Cobalion. So yeah, that's a thing as well. The last set is pretty much my win condition. This is pretty much the best thing I could bring against Hanna. It's Calm Mind Mew, not Defog. It's actually really, really good. Psyshock means I beat her Calm Mind users 1v1 like Clefable. Earth Power is the best coverage move I could use. It beats Skuntank. It hits a ton of things on her team for a huge chunk of damage. It's going to have a bit of trouble against Rotom, but I do have things for Rotom in these two Pokemon right here. Plus, if it's not Spadef, Gengar does a ton to it. And then just Roost, Calm Mind. Enough speed to outspeed Adamant Kabutops. And it outspeeds what she would probably be running on her. Okay, it outspeeds Adamant Kabutops. It outspeeds no speed invested Cobalion, because Cobalion reaches 252 without investment. And it's enough speed to outspeed the... What am I trying to say? There was another thing. I'm losing my mind. Oh my god. Skuntank! Oh my god, I've gone insane. It's enough to outspeed the Skuntank. If it's running a good amount of speed. Yeah, that's basically it. So this is really, really good. I was going to run Colperberry, but, I mean, Mew is pretty fat anyways, and I kind of expect Mew to outspeed a lot of stuff anyways. So, yeah, I just went with Leftovers for that reason. Synchronize, I mean, it helps me beat Clef a little bit easier. This is also my, like, quote-unquote counter to Cobalion and Kabutops, because it's very physically defensive. I mean, Synchronize is nice for stuff like Rotom, because I can pass off the burn, and I do carry Heal Bell, and she most likely will not carry Heal Bell. But yeah, that's my team. Hopefully everything works well, but I guess I'll pause. I'll probably have this in a separate video than my actual battle, but I'll pause now, and I'll, I guess, go into the battle.